Right, we are. All right, good morning, everybody. We're back. So let's jump down to our 10:30, so we are right on time. And begin with the state auditor's office.
Okay. Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm Vinny Scheel. I'm acting as the supervisor for this year's audit. I've also done it a couple times in the past for fiscal years 21 and 22. Also joined by Tim Trail, who's the lead auditor this year. He's doing all the hard work, having all the meetings with your staff, requesting many documents and looking those over and documenting our work. Tim's getting to become our county expert. He's also wrapping up the Sept County audit, so yeah, excited to do another one. Also joined, yeah. And also joined by Sarah, who's helping staff the audit for us. She did a lot of work planning our grant audit, and she's also performing field work, the review of your ARPA grant this year. Yes.
Won't you be glad when that's done? Says over there,
yeah. So our goal today is to talk about the work we have planned specifically for the county, provide you a little bit of information about our office, and answer any questions that you have for us. So before Tim goes into the details of the audits we have planned for you, a little bit about us. The state auditor's office is tasked with being the auditor of all public funds within Washington. So that means we audit all state agencies as well as all local governments. So in total, that's like a couple thousand all across the state. So that keeps us busy. In total, we have a little over 450 employees spread out all across the state in different field offices. We all work out of our Port Orchard office, and we're responsible for most of the peninsula. Sort of audits we perform, the three main audits are the accountability, the financial statement, and federal grant compliance audits, which we're performing for the county this year. Beyond that, we have a performance audit team, which was created about 20 years ago through the approval of a voter initiative. They typically look at larger scale issues impacting the state or an entire region, that sort of thing. They do a lot of different work. Sometimes they work pretty often on areas concerning schools, since they impact so many residents within Washington and receive a large share of total taxpayer funds across the state. I looked for anything relevant they did concerning counties, and a while ago they did a review about the timeliness of growth management requirement act requirements when it comes to like how frequently or how timely like permits are being approved, kind of in their theme of looking at affordable housing, and of course permit approval plays a role in that, and how quickly homes can be built. So a whole host of things they do there. We also perform fraud investigations, whistleblower investigations for state employees, so a whole host of different things. I'll pass things off to Tim, who will talk about the three audits that we have planned for the county this year.
Thanks, Vinny. So as he just mentioned, we have three audits this year, one of which is the accountability audit, and that covers the period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, which is a one-year audit. For this audit, we utilize a risk-based approach to select areas for further review, as if we were trying to audit everything, we'd never get any of our audits done. So in that process, we conduct risk assessments with key members of management and the board. We also review the board's minutes, and then we also conduct analytical procedures over vendor and payroll data of the county. All of that to say that we essentially do that to evaluate the areas of highest risk, which are included on this packet for you today. The first area that we are going to be looking at for the accountability audit is procurement, specifically for public works and purchases. We selected this area for further review as we identified that the county has a number of expenditures related to public works services, public works project services and equipment, which should be subject to procurement action. So the objective of this area is to really determine if the county did in fact comply with applicable bid law when procuring those services and expenditures. And then the next area is the Department of Public Health and Human Services. So we selected this department for review as it's one that we haven't reviewed in recent audits and is also involved with restricted funds such as grants. So we opted to pick that department up. The objective for our review of that department is to make sure and identify if the department has adequate internal controls to ensure that they are safeguarding public resources and complying with all of the state laws, regulations, contracts, and agreements that they're involved with. And then we have self-insurance for unemployment. Audit standards actually require us to review any self-insurance programs that are ran by the county or any entity every 2 years. And so we, in our planning, identified that the county does have a self-insurance program for its unemployment compensation obligations. So our objective there is to ensure that the county is setting aside funds in that program to meet its self-insurance obligations. And then we have the final two, which is open public meetings and financial condition. These are typically completed as part of every accountability audit and are also included as part of our planning procedures. The objectives for these two respectively is to ensure that the county is complying with Open Public Meetings Act requirements, and then also to ensure that the county is not encountering any financial distress. And so that is on whole the plan for the accountability audit. Any questions about the plan or any of the areas that we're reviewing this year?
No.
All right, jumping right into the financial statement audit. So the financial statement audit will cover the same period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024, another 1 year. And so we are going to be conducting audit procedures to determine whether the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects in accordance with the applicable reporting framework, which is cash basis for the county. And so through that, we'll also be essentially doing a review of the county's process to prepare the financial statements and report on any issues that could or did allow misstatements to occur with the financial statements, as well as any identified instances of noncompliance as required by the government auditing standards. So that's essentially the financial statement audit. It's been pretty standard every year, unless we identify any additional risks, which we did not this year. Any questions about the financial statement audit? I know that was pretty brief, but it's pretty much the same every year. All right. And that brings us to the federal grant compliance or the single audit, which covers the same period, January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024. This audit is required anytime an entity expends $750,000 or more annually in federal financial assistance, federal grant money. This is obviously going to go up in the coming years, so keep an eye on that. But we provide an opinion on the compliance with federal requirements that could affect the direct and material compliance with your federal grant programs. And so for this particular audit, we select enough federal programs to ensure that we meet federal coverage requirements, which is 20% for a low risk entity and 40% for a normal risk entity. The county qualifies as a normal risk entity because it is cash basis, and one of the requirements is that you report on GAAP. So that's just essentially how that assessment works. And so we, for this year, selected the Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund for audit this year, which is 48% of the total federal grant expenditures of the county for this year. So either way, we would have had coverage. So essentially, we'll do our review of this program to ensure that the county complied with the federal requirements over that program and the spending of that funding. Any questions about the single audit? Nope. Well, before I hand it back to Vinny for some final important information, I just wanted to go over a couple of things. So we provided an engagement letter which confirms both our, as the Office of the Washington State Auditor, and the county's responsibilities, as well as some of the logistics about the audit. We provided an engagement letter which identifies all of that, and so that will also include a cost estimate, as well as the timeline for the completion of the audit. And then briefly, I'll go over the levels of reporting. So this is essentially where we would identify kind of the levels of any identified issues throughout the audit. This is what would potentially be reported in our audit reports, or otherwise. So starting with the highest level, which is findings. So these formally address issues in the audit report. They report on significant results of the audit, which is significant deficiencies or material weaknesses in internal controls or their processes. Misappropriation, material abuse, or non-compliance with laws, regulations, or contracts. You'll also be given a chance to respond on this particular reporting level, and that will be published as part of our audit report along with the finding. The next level down, which is the management letter, is still communicating on control deficiencies, non-compliance, misappropriation, and abuse that is less significant than a finding, but we feel is still important enough to communicate to you in the form of a management letter. These aren't included as part of our audit reports, but they are referenced, just saying that we provided you a management letter. And then the lowest level, which is the exit items, these are typically addressing smaller items such as control deficiencies, non-compliance with laws and regulations, or errors that are insignificant to our audit objectives, but we feel is still something to keep in mind and address so that they do not become worse issues. So any questions about the levels of reporting?
Nope.
All right, then I will hand it back to Vinny for the important information.
Okay, yeah, so we're getting there. We're nearly wrapped up here. Still some other info we want to share with you. First off, when it comes to confidential information, we want to make sure you know that we're regularly receiving training on that area to make sure we're up on IT best practices, and we're committed to safeguarding any confidential data we might have to review as part of the audit. I don't anticipate us not having to look at much for this for the specific work we have planned for the county this year, but we do have a secure way to share documents online that we've set up with Leo, and been using that to share documents. We're also working 1 or 2 days a week here on site just across the hallway, so we also just look over records in person also if that's something your staff are more comfortable with. And then secondly, audit costs. Usually most electeds make a beeline right towards that section of the of our document. At the beginning. So we have our estimated audit costs there that unfortunately is a bit less than the estimate that we shared at the end of last year's audit. I think about $17,000 less, mainly because we only needed to look at one grant this year. Typically the county usually receives 2, and we had to look at 3 last year. So less time there, and we had a little bit less time planned on the accountability audit since the county received a clean audit last year. We didn't see any real high risk areas come up during planning, so planning on spending a little less time there, which results in lower audit costs for the county. Moving on from that, expected communications. We'll be working most closely with Leo, but also a few other employees at other departments we're working with. We hold weekly status meetings with Leo to keep him up to date on what the audit status is. If there's any open requests we have, anything that looks like a potential issue, we'll be working with him to keep him apprised on the audit status. And then finally, in the important info section, we want to make sure you're aware of the audit dispute process. If you ever have any particular concerns about the audit or don't agree with the conclusions you're reaching, we welcome you to reach out to us first on the local team. So me as the supervisor, or Melinda Seibert, who is the manager for our Port Orchard field office. And then if that's not adequate, we can put you in touch with our directors and move up progressive levels of management at our organization, going all the way up to the elected state auditor if necessary. Included our contact info at the end of this packet. So I want to make sure you're aware of that. And then moving on from that, we always like to remind governments about loss reporting requirements. So state law does require governments to notify us immediately when you have a suspected or known loss of public funds. So we have a relatively quick way to do that through our website to file that notice in the event that the county needs to. And as we receive those, our team of fraud experts review that and determine if there's any additional follow-up work we should perform in the next audit. And receiving those reports is also really helpful for us just to keep track of what sort of losses are taking place across the state, and can help us help inform us if there's any particular area that we should perhaps focus on more in the future. Moving on from that, a common question we receive is whether we also get to go through the joy of the auditing process, and it's only fitting that yes, we're not immune from that. So we go through a external peer review process. We're members of the National State Auditors Association. So every 3 years, employees of other state auditors' offices, as well as federal agencies, will come down to Olympia, take a look at the work that we've done recently, as well as our policies and procedures that we follow to make sure we're meeting industry standards. So we most recently went through that just about 3 years ago. And through that process, they provided a pass rating through that review, which just goes to show auditors aren't very good at using flowery language or anything like that, but we are happy to get a pass rating from them, which is the highest rating that they offer through that process. And they'll also be coming to Olympia in a couple weeks, and I believe in late September, early October, we'll be going through that peer review process. And then moving beyond audits, there's other services we offer that we want to make sure you're aware of, because they're available to you all throughout the year at no cost. You can use these services as much or as little as you'd like to. The first team I wanted to highlight is our local government support team. They're out there to help you with any financial reporting or accounting questions you might have. So if there's ever any new or unusual financial transactions taking place, or if anyone in finance has questions about new accounting guidance as it comes into effect, you can always reach out to them through a one-on-one help desk system, and they'll offer assistance. Members of that team also put on trainings across the state at various conferences that are held. They also make those available online as well. So great resource there for any accounting type questions your staff might have. And then also another team we have is the Center for Government Innovation, which is meant to help assist governments with things that can be really tricky. So there's quite a few things they do to offer that. One thing they do is they create best practice guides, and at this point those guides are available on just about every topic. At this point they have guides on best practices for how to run payroll, how to go through the buying and bidding process, how to go to bid for public works projects. So those are great resources. They're all made available on our website. And if you or your staff are interested in any specific area, you can also let us know, and we can look through that, see if they have a guide on that area you're interested in. That center also offers lean process improvement trainings, so if there's ever any department who wants to go through that process to help make them run more efficiently or effectively, you're welcome to reach out to them, and they can help facilitate that process. They've done a lot of work on things like permitting. They've worked with quite a few governments in the area, since that's a fairly structured process and relatively similar and can take a lot of time for your staff. They also help facilitate team building and leadership workshops. So there's a whole host of different services they offer, again, all at no cost. You can use them as much as you want. Beyond that, they also have cybersecurity audits that they offer. So you're always welcome to sign up for those, have them look at your IT practices, see how they compare to industry standards, and see if there's anything that can be improved. If the county's not willing to go through a full-blown cybersecurity audit, they also offer checkups, meant to be a more quick review and analysis to see if there's any area for improvement there. So we included their contact information in the packet. And that at the end of that, we have a listing of our qualifications, a little background on the people who are involved in your audit if you want to look through that. So I wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day this morning to meet with us, hear about the audit. I'd be happy to take any questions you have.
Just thank you. You guys always do a great job here. I've been around a long time, 13 years, so there's nothing new of this stuff that's been said. We've come a long way. We had a point when I first came here where we were on the verge of being unauditable, and it was your guys' department that taught us everything, and we brought in Leo, and we changed the whole dynamic of everything we do now. So, very thankful to you.
Thank you. Okay, thanks everyone. We will head out.
Let's pop our heads in every now and then.
Later, Leo.
We tried.
You did it. Thanks, Leo. All right. WSU.
Just for clarification, I sent in a briefing form for the not we are we all
You're on
lumped
first,
together
actually.
For
Not read us first.
well, I think we were both gonna share.
Yeah, we have the not just
I just didn't
me,
know if we were
and then
like
and then we
lumped
have
in.
the summer
Or you guys
report.
can come up together.
Yeah,
They're
great.
two
Yeah.
separate ones, but you'll do the not read one first and then,
We got room for you.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Plenty.
Oh, just fine. I'm so drama. I had stitches on my foot a while ago because Home Depot siding is very sharp, and I did not wear the appropriate footwear. So.
You know, I never
But I'm
wear
doing
the
just
appropriate
fine.
footwear into Home Depot, ever.
Well, I had worked hard all day,
We'll
and then
send
I
over
was
a bottle of
just-
that new stuff. It's called Drama Meeting. So.
It was like I was in the paint aisle. It was bad. So, good morning, commissioners. Thank you for the chat on WSU Extension. We'll start with our Noxious Weed program, doing a briefing on our knotweed.
Hi, I'm Heidi. I'm the Noxious
Heidi.
Weed Program Coordinator for Mason County Noxious Weeds. Thank you for being here, and thank you to any members of the public who are tuning in this morning. I just have one item to brief you guys on. We have a new interagency agreement with Washington State Department of Agriculture, and this is for our knotweed control work. The contract number is K6082. We were awarded $25,000 from Washington State Department of Agriculture to be used for knotweed control in selected creeks, rivers, and shorelines in Mason County. Our program has been receiving WSDA knotweed control funding since 2013, and we've been able to make really great progress on our knotweed infestations through this funding. The agreement has provided $25,000, and we are planning to use $7,000 during this budget year 2025, $15,000 during the 2026 budget year, and then $3,000 for the first part of 2027. This funding will be used to support our extra help noxious weeds specialist position and facilitate knotweed control in the county. So my requested action is just to place this interagency agreement with Washington State Department of Agriculture on the next action agenda for signature and approval. And I have included the attachments of the new contract and also last year's knotweed report for review. And I'll take any questions if you have them.
Can any of it be used for automobile repair?
Nah, no, I don't think it can.
Try.
It's for salary
Oh,
time.
dear.
Yeah, but thanks for asking. I know I appreciate that being coverable through facilities. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Just glad you guys made it back.
I am glad we made it back too. Yeah, we had 2 flat tires that day. That was, or no, 1 flat tire, bad gash. I think it was oyster shells.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had to patch it,
Sidewall.
I think 4 times on the way back to the office. Yeah, that was a fun day. But we have great tires now, so we've not had any problems since.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing.
Yeah, so if somebody has problems with knotweed, they just call you.
They can call us. So we have selected creek, the funding is, to be used on certain creeks and rivers, and then we also use some of it in North Bay and, in Allen. And then we do some treatments for sites that are not in those project areas, but it's sort of as time allows at the end of the season. So landowners can call us about their knotweed. We can't always assist with it. We ask to see it in person first to ensure that we can control it. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's great, let's put it on the agenda.
Thank you.
Move on to our summer report for you to ask questions about, but more importantly, to chat a little bit about what we've been doing with WSU Extension, our educational programs. I'll go briefly through it, but then I want to introduce Fallon to you as our 4-H coordinator, so I'll let her handle the 4-H side, but just some brief snippets. I know it's in your packet, but the Master Gardeners held an open house, or I should say an open garden at Catalyst, to marvelous attendance up there. If you've never been up to our Catalyst Park, it's absolutely gorgeous. Huge food community gardening space as well, so I'd encourage you to go check out that space. Our Small Farms program's been doing septic workshops, Shelton, North Mason, and Hoodsport. So room coming up in our Hoodsport class in October, but our North Mason one had over 55 registered people at it, so really good attendance on those. One of the most riveting topics of maintaining your septic system. So super proud of Heidi and the Noxious Weed program for getting out in the community, attending community gathering and events, educating people on what noxious weeds are. So super proud that she's doing that and finding time to make that all happen, along with treating all the things that her contracts are tying up her time with. The one I don't really want to talk about, but we'll have to mention, due to federal funding reductions, we will no longer be offering our SNAP Ed program here in Mason County and across Washington State. So effective November 30th is the last day of that program. We are winding down those partnerships and moving what we had been doing for 37 years into other key areas of community. So trying to wrap that up. So that one's not ready for me to talk about, but important for you to know. And then moving into our 4-H program, this is Fallon Taylor. Fallon started in May. Probably the worst time to start a position for 4-H. We had done all of our planning and we're gearing right into our summer-based programming of the doing side. So Fallon got to experience a lot of the programming efforts, and she's a fantastic addition to our team. And she'll kind of mention a few things about our 4-H program.
Thanks, Dan. Hi, everyone. As Dan said, my name is Fallon. Luckily enough, I was able to step in and really get to be a part of the community and everything that 4-H has already been doing. So I have to beg to differ. I think it was the perfect time to start, honestly. It kind of threw you in the fire a little bit, but in the most amazing way possible. Got to meet a lot of people, and just a summary of some of our summer activities is that we got to obviously do our standard summer camp activity. It was amazing. 35 teen counselors, which is what summer camp is about. It's like giving them the opportunity to be leaders and cultivate the youth and be responsible. And they put in a lot of hours into that training. So it was amazing to be a part of that, meet the council, the committee, and then obviously we geared up and got ready for Grace Harbor County Fair, where Mason County really had an opportunity to show up and show out. And that really kind of segues into this next year. We're hoping to bring in about 2 or 3 new clubs and programs, and some of them are going to truly focus on increasing our presence at the county fair, including rabbit projects and gearing up even more with our horse projects as well. And phenomenally enough, our Ridge Creek Club had about 20 kids that went out to Grace Harbor, so that was amazing to see that program continue to thrive and to experience that and meet all of these individuals. We also are gearing up and bringing in new volunteers. Yesterday, we spent the entire day with 4 interested volunteers, 2 of which are hoping to bring in new clubs this year, or really just at least become program leads in other clubs that are already established to kind of get their feet wet. And then kind of just wrapping it up, we're excited to say that Mason County will be present at the national conference in Washington, D.C. again. So we will be sending a group of 3 to 5 youth with myself and an amazing program lead to Washington, D.C. in March. So those are just some exciting things that we've already accomplished, and we're really gearing up to kind of put forward in the 25-26 year.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Great people, and I'm really excited to just keep diving in and meeting more parts of the community. I'm looking forward to going to speak at a local elementary school as well, partnering with our library again, getting one of those programs up and going, and hopefully even an opportunity to meet with the YMCA and see what we can do there as well.
That's very cool. Sure. Yeah, no, I am super excited. I can hear your passion.
Yeah.
It excites me a lot. My granddaughter is probably going to join the course.
Love.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's very exciting. I come from a world of operations and athletics, and so youth development is something that's really ingrained in us when you really gear up and you get into athletics. I was lucky enough to go to college for that. So being a part of the community and focusing on youth is something that you do as a pillar, as an athlete. And so I'm really grateful to be given an opportunity to kind of go back to my roots and be a part of a small community, because I grew up in one.
Did you?
Yes, I did, but my career took me to a big city, and so it's kind of nice to slow back down and really be a part of
Come back
something
here.
that, yeah, yes ma'am, exactly.
Get smaller.
Yeah. So let's take a breath.
Right. Yeah, no, that is so exciting. Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Well, as always, commissioners, thank you for your support. It's been over 100 years of our partnership between Mason County and WSU Extension. You said this was your 13th year. My 14th year is this in a few weeks. So it's been a long time. It's been wonderful. And I know we've done the budgets and watching things go, but I truly value the partnership that we've had to remain committed to providing education to our residents here in Mason County. In October, we'll be doing a 4-H proclamation, one of my favorites, where I read the whereas, all that stuff. But it really just symbolizes our partnership.
Coffee cups.
Oh, perfect. And then we'll be doing our MOA signing in December, again, or January, just saying, hey, we're partners on this for another year, which is fantastic. So I appreciate our partnership and how we've been working together for years. So any questions, let us know, but thank you very much.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Appreciate
I
it.
love you guys.
Yeah, thank you. All right, thanks. Enjoy your day.
Great one, guys.
It was very nice to meet you all.
Very nice to meet you.
So this will be on the 9th next week. Okay, awesome. All right.
Right, Kenny? Always have to check with the boss.
Yeah.
I know how that works. Me too. Thank you, guys.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Who is it? Sheriff's office?
Sheriff's office. I think I saw somebody in uniform out there.
Yeah, Ryan Hope just hit her right in the
I know I heard about it.
I know, you can hear them from miles away usually.
Sorry, we were waiting.
Yeah. Come on up.
I'm getting over a cold, so I'm not gonna share it with you guys.
Oh, you're not gonna give me a hug?
Well, I can give you a hug, I just let you know I got a cold.
Chief?
How are you?
Morning.
You are,
Yeah. Federico Suave is his name.
yeah,
Nice try.
that works.
You seem a little gray.
What? I seem a little what?
A little gray.
A little more gray.
How's that new position, Tree?
That's hilarious.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks,
Start
Sheriff.
out? Go ahead. So, like we said, we're gonna do some info briefings with you more often than we had been, and I think we're about 2.5 weeks out, or 2 weeks out from the last one. We've had some things moving along in the jail, and Shane's the interim acting,
Soon to be
well, no,
full-time.
September 1.
Yep.
I can't remember what the title is. Transition.
No.
Succession planning. Succession planning. He's
Hey,
in
that was
the
too
next
good.
step. Okay. So Shane, kind of just talk about where you're at with the jail on the hiring, staffing levels, and then going to the population.
Okay, yeah, so currently we have 19 custody staff and 3 CSOs, which leaves us with 9 vacancies. We have 3 starting on the 16th, and then we have 3 more that are in background, and then 4 interviews set up for later this week. So
Our list is better
Our
than
list
it's
is-
been for years.
correct.
And if you have other ideas that would help this along, we'd love to hear them. And feel free to call us direct, literally.
Okay, yeah.
We
yeah.
want this, we want to see them full,
Yeah, we're,
safe for everybody else in there.
yeah,
So we got-
Kelly's doing a great job of
Yeah.
getting stuff going and getting people through the process.
3 new hires on the 16th of this
It
month.
was swearing three.
Swearing.
Swearing on the
That's
16th.
so cool.
Are any of those laterals?
No.
Okay,
I
they're
think
all
we
gonna
have
have to go
two.
through COA?
Yeah, we have two of the interviews on Thursday, I believe, are lateral.
Okay.
So did they go to training in Vancouver? Or were they
Or
going?
CJTC.
Or up in Beery.
Beery.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
they kinda, whatever's open, that's where they get sent. What else? And then, so our population currently is 57 in the jail with 5 in the squally. So we kinda, I got some phone calls over the weekend that we were out of space for some female inmates, so we had to do some shuffling around and. we're
Did
able to
we
get
make,
things-
make room?
Yeah, we were able to make room, yeah.
Good.
And then in the past 2 weeks, we had 50 bookings since August 24th through September 6th. We booked 50 people in the jail. Let's see, what else? So we run the litter crew program as well. And through the end of August, they had picked up over 100,000 pounds of trash from county roadways. I think he has the mileage on here. Around almost 40 miles of roadway throughout the county.
Wow.
Collected that much trash.
Now, do you guys work in, because sometimes I'll say this, the city litter crew out?
No, he just
Separate.
does the county. Yep,
Okay.
yep, just the county.
And that's not on the state routes unless we actually coordinate.
Coordinate,
with the OC.
yeah, that's not in none of the state. Yeah, so just off county roadways.
That's good.
Yep,
For the year, it looks like we're about 1,300 bookings for the jail so far, is what I've got as a number.
probably close to that.
And you wanna talk about, in general, the jail shank issue?
Oh, yeah, so kind of brought a picture. We did a shakedown last week of a unit and found a piece of metal that had kind of been sharpened with a handle on it. So,
We identified the source?
yeah, we identified the source. It was a medical brace that the person had, and seems like they took the metal piece out of it, and yeah, we lost track of it. I'm guessing our staff did or something, and turned into that. So we contacted patrol, and I believe charges were filed on the person for having weapons in the facility.
So when they come in, like, let's say they have a brace on, because I know it's like one. How do you do that if they have to have their brace on?
Yeah, we monitor it. We
And just keep,
classify them and determine their risk, and we can't really keep them out of general housing just because of a medical condition.
Right.
Yeah,
That you do inspect the brace and
We
stuff
do
to make
inspect
sure
it.
what's on there, not on there.
yeah.
Matter of fact, you were telling me that you
We
removed
re-
some
Yeah, we
equipment
removed
off.
another piece of metal off of this brace before it was given to him.
really?
Yeah, and then he used the piece of metal that was still on there, so. Yeah,
Patrol's got a new hire coming on the 16th, so we've got 4 swear-ins.
4 total, yeah.
We have 2 open positions in patrol. We have 3 in background. We have 1 person in the academy right now, and 3 folks are ready to finish FTO program here shortly for patrol, which will lead us into the set team, adding a couple more positions at the end of the month for set to be up and running. And you felt the effects of set because they were out at Lansky and dealt with, I don't know, I've told 6 cars.
Yeah, I just asked him this morning.
Okay. Civil division's full. That's kind of covered our staffing levels. Calls for service for the last 2 weeks. I know I'd given them to you, 24 versus 27 last year, but for the last 2 weeks, we've handled a little over 900 calls for service, and for the year, we're a little over 15,000 calls for service. Kind of some interesting stats for civil, at least I think they're interesting. They've done over 1,100 writs and or paper services. And then public disclosures, somewhere around 1,250 public disclosures for the year so far.
So those are requests, that's not page-wise, right?
Those
No,
are
that's
those are
not paid.
requests.
That's
and the
individual requests.
Yeah.
Last year we did almost 2,000.
So I'm not sure where we're at with the complexity and the hours on them yet, but
I'd be curious if you could get us those numbers.
Yep.
I'd love to share those with our reps.
Yeah, it's, and a lot of these are just so broad and so fishing, you know, and what's the need for the person to have it, but we just fill it.
But we have to, yeah.
So, anything?
I don't know if you guys realize, but we had all 4 of our tires along with some other trailers all slashed up at the fire. Where we have our boat trailer and our boat is in. Somebody had gone along and slashed a bunch of tires, ours included, all 4 of them. That was a $1,200 bill, but we're gonna see if we can get that reimbursed because it was for Forest Service. So we're gonna see if that is reimbursable for our activities up there. And just so that you guys know, Wednesday, I'm going to my first board meeting as a Criminal Justice Training Commission member, our commissioner. And it'll be interesting to be a part of that up in Burien, which is the 21-person commission now as of 2021. So I may come back stressed, I don't know.
More gray hair?
Yeah, more gray hair.
Or less of it.
Major incidents for kind of patrol divisions. Last week we had a fatality collision out on Agate Road that's being investigated. I don't have the details on it and don't necessarily need to go into those. I talked about ICAC last time, Internet Crimes Against Children. Well, again, we started last week off with another one of those cases with a search warrant and subsequent arrest. So somebody's in jail for that. The fire appears to be around 10,000 acres, and things are kind of dwindling down. We got a call from the IC requesting to lower one of the levels down from a 2 to a 1, so we're kind of
Evacuation.
diminishing, the evacuation area, sorry. And then, we talked about Lansky. We're gonna be working out there, doing halts out there to help identify more of their vehicles, to get them paperwork so they can get them halted and get that property cleaned up. This weekend, our detectives were called out to Thurston County's jail to assist them with a death in their jail. We do that independently, so they have an independent investigation. They'll do it for us, or we'll call in one of the Region 3 agencies. We always help them, they help us, and they've helped us earlier in the week with a canine deployment and capturing of a suspect from a shots fired, stolen vehicle, car thing, so.
And we're still working on the officer involved shooting down that we're the lead on.
That's getting ready to be closed up and sent to the prosecutor down there. And then I guess the last thing is the Sept team did an arrest for Kitsap County up in the north end on a gal for a murder warrant. So that's kind of where we're at. It's been busy.
Just a quick update.
I'm curious, is there anything that you guys are interested in for us to bring forward next time?
I don't know, I'm gonna kind of divert course and say thank you. I got the neighbor across the street from the Lansky property. He called me and said to offer his appreciation for what you guys have accomplished, and I want to just reach out and say, hey, thanks. That's it's real progress.
Well, our set team supervisor, I just talked to him, and he said he was able to chat with the individual and convince him to voluntarily get these vehicles removed. And if it was a deputy that was responding to calls, he wouldn't have the time to invest in that. And that's what the set team is actually designed to do and is doing. And you guys giving us additional positions over the last few years is what we're using it for, is that set team. So we should have, 3 people on at the end of the month? A sergeant and 2?
Four and a sergeant at the end of the month.
So we're even gonna be able to do more as we go forward. It's all gonna be proactive for that type of stuff, or for milepost 10 on North Shore, or whatever it is that needs some extra attention. So we're excited about seeing how that affects our community.
That's awesome.
That's great.
So the fatality that you had out there, I'm gonna be going out there looking at it because the neighbors called. I know they've also talked to you. One of the things everybody still talks about is trying to find a way to get traffic calming by having the deputies out there, bodies and stuff, and doing drive-throughs. And hopefully we can look at that. On that issue in that particular location, I understand there's been a few of them over the years. Did you see anything out there that we should be paying attention to? I'm gonna go out and look at the road itself, because I think there's.
If you look at the tire marks I haven't looked at it myself, but I've been told there was quite the yaw marks out there for critical speed scuff for speed, and that he was a passenger and he was ejected. So it sounds like speed was a big factor in this. Don't know all the other things, because I think the driver even left the scene.
I have I have an intention to talk to Public Works about getting a machine, unless you guys already have one, that you could drop out there for a couple of weeks. I know it only does good for a short period of time, but even every little bit helps. Is there any possibility you guys could have a machine you could drop out there?
We have to check with
The
our
radar
schedule.
trailer?
The
Yeah.
radar trailer. We'd have to check with Matt.
Check
who
with
controls
Matt.
it.
Yeah, please do on that, and if not, let me know, because I'll try to get it from Public Works to have it put out there for 2 weeks or something, to see if that'll help. What happened on the motorcycle thing? That there was supposedly, huh?
At the Ridge?
No, there was supposedly, we had some motorcycles come through town, and
I never did hear back on that.
they were posting something about it, and our deputies were trying to get them to pull over, and they wouldn't pull over, and they were crotch rocket motorcyclists, and they showed a picture of it at the time at QFC, and our deputies, some people were complaining because they said the deputy was running them off the road. Others said, idiot, the motorcycle was going right at the people, and the deputy was protecting everybody. So, I don't know, looking at that, I'd love to hear what you guys come up with that, but there are pictures out there.
Where was that?
So on State Route?
Where was I when that happened? Because it was at QFC where they took the picture, so,
Wow.
And we'll see if it's even a legitimate real
yeah.
picture or
Well,
generated by
actually,
AI.
I sent you a text on the day
Yes.
that it had happened.
Okay,
So,
I'll look into
with
it.
that,
That fell off my radar.
it's okay. I heard, I had somebody
Apparently there's a
contact me
trailer for that.
asking about traffic and stuff, and they were saying that you guys are looking at doing contracts again with residents?
Contracts.
Who said that?
Casey used to do contracts with residents like Bears Cove, Lynch Cove, and I said I hadn't even heard anything like that. And,
Contracts.
yeah, for,
For a resident deputy, the only ones we did was at Cushman and at Timberlakes.
Yeah,
Those are the only ones.
You're talking traffic, right?
I'm not all of it, but they're saying that they were contacted to look at contracts again. I know that they did it in the past for, just because somebody says it doesn't make it accurate. If we've learned anything, we've learned that, and I hadn't heard about that, that's why I was asking.
News to me.
Okay,
I don't know anything
so it
about
could
that.
be something they're just talking about their HOA and,
We're doing neighborhood watch, we're increasing neighborhood watch, but that's about it.
The only thing I can think of is that there was a discussion about some of the HOAs that are out there that they can contract specifically with us to do,
Overtime.
to do traffic work on their HOA roads, but there has to be that agreement. I'm wondering if there's a mixture of that.
Isn't that privately owned? Like what we do with Stretch, or
Yeah.
Treasure Island?
I'll reach out to this person, find out a little bit more, because I just hadn't heard of that, and I thought, I was a little surprised we're going back to that again, because we've,
Well, we have an agreement with Treasure Island
Yes.
because it's all private property and we
Yes.
can't enforce
No,
the
I-
traffic laws unless they ask us to and give us
Yeah.
permission. So that's,
No, I
that may
get
be
that.
what it is.
and I'll reach out.
Okay.
That's all I got, to thank you guys for everything.
I got nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Jeez. You guys are easy.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Figured that
Couple
all
of
out.
weeks.
Welcome to the new position.
Yeah, thanks.
Kevin? Do you have Public Works in mind?
Yep, see ya. Yeah, there's some of it.
Perfect.
Still follow my directions out of instinct, even though they don't have to, I don't know what's going on there, but, yeah.
Which is great.
Promise to keep it
I
down.
will.
They said they're gonna keep it down for us.
Hi, Richard.
How you doing?
Finally. We gotta fix that door. It's rather squeaky. How are you?
Good.
Good. Happy Monday.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Are you identifying as Loretta this morning?
Well, yes, I identified as Loretta this morning,
Oh,
which is good. Not a bad thing, not a bad thing.
no?
Yeah, she left me a full briefing. So I brought backup, otherwise I'll probably mess it up.
Good backup. All right,
So-
take her away.
Water leak credit, I think this is you.
That's me. All right, good morning, Commissioners. Per Mason County Code 13.34, water utility customers experience a significant water leak can request a credit applied to their bill once every 3 years. Any leak over 10,000 cubic feet can request the leak credit, but we have an additional step, and that's coming before the board to review the leak and to approve the credit. So we have two. And we have customer 308072 in Beards Cove. They average about 300 cubic feet per month, but during our implementation of the tiers, we've been talking to them pretty consistently before the tiers were implemented. When the tiers went live, they got a $600 bill, and we got their attention really quickly. And they fixed it very promptly the following month. So they had 1,400, almost 1,500 cubic feet in January, and another 7,600 cubic feet in February. They had a family member come in and fix the toilet, and we've been watching their account for the last couple months, and they're averaging about 300 cubic feet per month. So we're requesting that the board issue a total credit of about $851.50 for this account, plus any late fees, since they've made the correction. And then the second customer is 306041, also in Beards Cove. They're averaging about 600 cubic feet per month, but in May they had a significant water leak of 13,500 cubic feet. Their total bill for that month was $560.07. In June, the next month before they got it fixed, they had 17,200 cubic feet. So it was a significant leak. They hired a local plumber that came out and fixed the leak for about $1,000. And so we're requesting a credit for the 29,500 total cubic feet for May and June, for a total credit of $1,169.50.
I'm curious, are you requesting or they requesting?
They fill out the form. They fill out a form.
This is their request?
It's their
Okay.
request. I apologize.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, they said that.
Because do we have a provision that allows you to request it? Because we should. Because if you have things you know, you might want to be able to have it in that water plan that we put together.
I don't think we do.
Well, I think what it is we have them complete the form, let them know that there is a way for them to
But
request.
those are limited.
Yes.
But I think if it's something that you guys do through your own action, saying, we think this should be forgiven because of this, just something to think about for the future for an addition.
Okay, thank you.
I wonder if we can, do we have like a top amount, so do we have an amount where it triggers you guys coming before
Correct.
us?
So if they have a significant water leak under the 10,000 cubic feet, then Richard can review it, make sure that they get the leak
Okay.
fixed. It's only when it's above the 10,000 cubic feet that we bring it to the board to review.
Thought I remembered something like that,
Yeah.
but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But there's a limit on how many they can do.
Yes, once every 3
Yeah,
years, and
yeah.
then
Right.
we change the wording in it so
Right.
that if it's more than once every 3 years, we can bring that to the board to review also.
It seems like a significant amount of water, though.
It was.
Wouldn't they notice a drop in pressure or something?
Their toilet was running. That was it.
And if you don't hear it, you don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
Doesn't take a lot, yeah.
I
yeah.
had somebody from our other water system,
Russellwood?
very angry at me, and she was going off for quite a while because she's paying a lot. And then it finally came out that she has a swimming pool and she's not willing to give it up. I'm sorry, it wasn't, that was one of the things we all talked about.
Yeah.
And so the one that has that swimming pool found me,
Yeah.
just so you know. But again, we talked about it, we knew what we decided, and we put that in, and, for those, anybody listening, the fire departments sometimes will come out and fill their swimming pool for them. You can ask them, because they need to flush their lines sometimes and do stuff, but if you're gonna be on our system, you're gonna pay for it, because that's what we did.
Not that they would flush their lines into the swimming pool. That's not
No,
your
that's,
flush.
well, yeah. They'll put it in their truck and they'll empty the truck out and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But they do that here in Shelton and stuff quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's better to have it go to a beneficial use than just run down the road.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sweet.
good.
Okay, well, next, this one's mine. Approval to procure a replacement pump, well 5 at Beards Cove. It's not functional at all now. So we have pump 4, which is more than enough meets the needs. And we have pump 3, which does not. So if something happened at pump 4, we'd be done. They'd be done.
I'm
how long,
supportive.
So, we believe we've had enough money within our budget, because we've been bringing a bit more with our tiered rates, but if not, we definitely have enough in the reserves and that to take care of it.
Supportive.
Good.
Me again. Change order number 1 for the Belfair Water Reclamation Project. There's 2 components to this. One's the lower cabinets. Some of them got tossed out. We didn't have enough to put back. So that's the reasoning for that. And the other is we're over insulating the area above where we had the leak.
Are you using that guy right there for cabinets?
Nope, we're placing them in kind with what was there, because they have to be matched, otherwise we're having to pull the floor up and replace that. So, yeah, so they'll be matched in kind with what was there. And hopefully they'll be there before the end of September. So we'll be all done.
So that when we get
done.
inspected the next time, they'll
Yeah.
we'll get these beautiful.
Yeah, and this is all covered through insurance and things.
Right, and I love the idea of the extra insulation. That'll help.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Stop.
there'll be another one coming up too, because we're putting a dedicated power line up in there with a heater and thermostat control down below, so,
Very cool.
yeah, we're not having that happen again.
Yes.
Supportive.
Okay. Yep.
Dave, you're next.
Okay, so
Updating.
we're proposing some updates to the public works fee schedule. So we have various fees that we charge, but one bit of work that we do is review private development, engineered drawings primarily, or grading permits and hydraulic permits and those kinds of things. And we haven't had a way in the past to collect the cost to do that. And so we are proposing this development review fee schedule. And I don't know if you had a chance to look at it, but it's between $100 and $200 depending on the work that we're doing. And we would incorporate that in the county code.
When I see cable franchise, is that for the cable companies or the individuals when they get?
That would be cable company.
Put an extension through, okay.
Yeah.
As am I.
Good job. So you want this on the next, on the ninth as well, right?
Yeah. That's what it is. And then there was another thing here, circled by Loretta, Belfair SEPA mitigation fees. I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, but that's just basically.
That's a large amount, but it's, for that area, you're gonna have to. There's no way around it, and we can't be just taking on the cost of all that every time someone wants to do something there.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically, it would be subsidized by the taxpayers, I guess, at the end of the day.
Yep.
If the developers aren't covering their costs, so, for any additional improvements, so that was,
I'm supportive.
okay.
Dave, you're up again.
Okay, and then the last one here is there's a PLO request for North Shore Road. And evidently, there's a pump house on the far side, it's at basically at Millwood, which is like a 5 resident community. And one of the homes is served by a well that's on the other side of North Shore Road. And they had a power line and a water line, but it got broken somehow years ago, and they're trying to reestablish the power and the water line to the well so they can serve that residence.
Looks good to me. Yep.
Okay, well, we have discussion items for you next.
Big one.
Big ones, yeah. And I'm gonna let Stephanie lead this Belfair stove. Is this right? Yes, this is you.
All right.
I see Belfair and I went, oh, wait a minute.
So back in June, utility waste staff brought forth the results of a recent audit to the Belfair Sewer ERUs and Belfair Sewer customers. Based on County Code 13.4, this audit We looked at 465 customer accounts and found that about 32 of the commercial accounts were significantly off from their usage to what they were set up as their ERUs. So when we worked with the Belfair Water District and got their actual usage, matched up their water usage, looked at code and said, okay, this was their water usage, this is how much an ERU is. We come up with about 55 ERU difference. Some were up, a lot of them were up. We had one that was a significant decrease.
Every one of these is commercial?
Mhm.
And you're basing it on the 200 or the 150?
200.
Okay, because I never saw us change it. I still look back on that, but we have it in our code at 200, so then that's more than when it was first happening, the number was 150. So when they went through and did the math without the numbers from the water, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but at the same time, that's what we have to do.
Okay.
This is just reflecting reality.
Yes.
Yeah. So we used 23 and 24 water rates, or water usage from Belfair Water District, and then we'll do it again in 25 and check for any significant changes.
Okay. Is this going to be like, are we gonna do this periodically?
I think it was recommended that we do it at least once every 2 or 3 years.
Good.
Yep. So that, as people come in and out of the commercial buildings, it better reflects their usage.
And change use?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That was the other thing we did. We went through and identified, mixed use, family, residential, and so we have a way of finding all of those now in our accounting system.
Yeah, this is great.
Okay, so we're seeing about, one of the things what we did calculate is that the change in the ERUs would result in about an annual revenue increase of about $70,000 a year. And we have a letter that we have drafted to send out to all those that would be affected. And we're recommending that, or we're requesting that we can make these changes to the accounts when the new 2026
Is there an appeal
utility rates.
process at all?
We have a letter that's going out, and if they provide additional information, we can re-review the accounts. Because we can work with Belfair Water District to look
Can't
at
ask for any
those.
more than that.
No. I like it.
Good work on it, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, request for sewer service, an example, right? And so Loretta asked me, like, say if PSIC wants to hook up, what are you gonna do if that, I said, well, they're gonna have to supply me with an application for sewer adequacy, and then I'll go through and have to tell them this is what I need before I can approve anything at my level. So you see right off the bat, I need an interlocal agreement. Then a certification of necessity from Department of Ecology, and it shows that we're not in competition with anybody else that provides sewer service, or there'd have to be a comparative evaluation to show if there was somebody that could provide sewer service that we're actually better suited for it than they are. And so if they get their necessity certificate, it's not over. So they've got a choice. They got an engineering review and plan approval, which could also be done through a general sewer plan amendment. So they gotta do that, and that plan, specifications, approval requires evaluation, ensure water quality is protected. It's aligned with an NPDS or state discharge and state discharge standards, and consistency of design criteria from the criteria for sewage works designs from Ecology, Association of Society of Civil Engineers, and EPA manuals. General sewer plan must include the purpose and need, the sewer service area boundaries, ownership, operation, maintenance, detailed layout maps, construction quality assurance plans, complete operation and maintenance manual, and showing who's gonna manage what, and how's it gonna be financed. And then, since they would be discharging, they're out of our service area and they wanna discharge to our system, and they're an entirely separate entity, they'd have to have their own permit through the state in order to do that.
Yeah. I was looking at the the documents that Loretta sent to Steve, and I was reading all that, there's a lot going on that we have to
Lot.
adhere to.
There's a
And
lot.
so whenever we're in an ILA with anybody, not just Bremerton, anybody else,
Anybody.
we have to make sure that that ILA says that it's only an intention to. Because if they can't make it with ecology, and especially after reading that, I'm surprised how much the ecology can decide the weight and stuff like that of that stuff. So we
Oh,
need
yeah.
to make sure that we cover our butts when we have any type of ILA. One we did, I think, does. I'm just saying, and as for the other stuff, just so you know, because I've been dealing with these systems from Port Commissioner and stuff like that, a lot of that's boilerplate. When you're moving into anybody else's district or area, you have to verify that you are the one that's supposed to service them. And if you're not, sometimes there can be a competition clause basically where, like a water system more than anything else, you can't just hook up to what you want or what you want to do. You have to go through their scheme. They call it a scheme,
Yeah.
not, it sounds like I'm being evil, but that's what it's
That's
called.
what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it takes quite a while.
yeah.
It's very,
So is that something that each customer that would wanna hook up to their system
no.
would have to go through, or is this just?
This
in
is
this
for
instance?
them and their plan, and so if there's a customer, say there's an industrial customer in the port, they'll have to abide by their discharge permit to our system. So they'll be responsible for that on, anybody else would be responsible for that on their own, from their point of connection back. And I'm sure there's, they're gonna have to have industrial treatment specs and pretreatment and the whole works. That's all for ecology to define.
No, this is great.
But, I mean, it's not, just so, I mean, like, everybody in the room knows, it's a pretty extensive process that
It is.
you don't, it's not a free pass anywhere. It's a lot of work to get
Make sure that
done.
you add that part onto the ILA requirement and that it is not a promise. It's a promise that if all conditions are met, it can
Yeah,
be
Yeah,
done.
for sure.
But only if all conditions are met.
I believe we have that in this ILA.
We do. This ILA that we sent over has that as that's one of the reasons why I was able to support it.
Sweet. Okay, so request to advertise for a CS&W operator 2 or 3, not the usual OIT or 1.
Yes, yes, and yes.
Okay.
We should, I think we
We
should
already
be
have
looking
those
at,
positions, right?
We do, and I'll back up a little bit. Water wastewater manager, we actually interviewed 2 people last week, both qualified candidates, one in-house, one out. So this is really, if the in-house candidate got it, we'd already have something in the process to backfill that position. If the other person gets it, we won't fill. Because we have 7 operator FTEs, we actually have 8, but 1's not budgeted.
so I'd like to throw it to the commission for something to think about. We talked to ecology, that's the one thing that they made clear when they were over on the side, is that we're good with redundancy, but this is one place where we should have a little more. So although I appreciate you being really strict on how we would do it, I think it's time to consider having that other position as, an extra position in your framework.
It could be used, for sure. I mean, it definitely could be.
It's spread out amongst everybody,
Yeah.
and ecology kind of made it clear, they think that that's needed. And I can't disagree with them because
I
we
can't
have a little bit of
disagree.
turnover and that's what happens. But you're still way ahead of what we used to be. I want to
100%.
let you know that we would have turnover 10 years ago, 8 years ago, and everything stopped. I mean, we had,
Oh, it's bad.
yeah, so.
Oh, yeah, like
so-
I think you mentioned, we had the city of Bremerton folks
Yes,
having to
we,
fill in.
we
Yeah.
had people that we were contracting with to operate our system.
Yeah, it's definitely slowed. I mean, it was rapid. I felt like I was part of the human resources team the first year.
So would you consider
Here.
bringing us back, and I'm only speaking for myself, I can't speak for the other commissioners, but I think it's time if you would consider bringing us back an offer of, if we don't already have it in the books. If it's already in the books, I'd say go out and hire for that. If it's not, bring it back to us for us to discuss
Yeah,
during budget, especially if not even earlier.
yeah, because that's the
money
only
is there.
problem is it's just we only funded 7 FTEs.
Okay, then it's time
So it's just,
to bring
it's
back.
there, it's just.
There
not
are
funded.
8 FTEs, yeah,
Okay,
by
so we have to do-
contract, but we only fund 7.
So if we did that, before budget season, we're looking at June.
Sweet.
So please bring that back to us.
You were
Okay,
looking.
no, that's good, and what about, I mean, like I said, we're not asking to get a 1 or a 2. I mean, a 1 or an OIT, because really it's just starting over again. But we need somebody that's got a little bit more.
But for the redundancy, just whatever you get, you need to have more bodies there.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay,
You guys okay with that, or?
We've got 3.
yep.
Okay, yeah, so bring that to us.
What else do I have? Just a quickie on openings. I got a couple of projects that are bid openings coming up on the 11th. One for the replacement, the inbound scale at the transfer station, and also biosolids hauling. So hopefully we'll be able to get some really good estimates there, or good bids, and save some money.
Good. You like saving money.
Yeah. You got anything for us?
Yes.
Oh, God.
One, I've got calls that there's a smell up at the new development on top of McDonald's on the very top part, that there's this sewer smell that's coming out.
I seen that earlier, and I sent a couple operators out there. I don't, they said they couldn't detect anything of it, which is not uncommon for anybody that's worked in wastewater. We can't.
Until you can, yep.
Our sense of smell is dead.
So, well, as long as
So,
I'm just, for
thank
me,
God.
I told them that I would. So please, if you look into that and see what we have, what might be causing it. And for you, sir, could you give us an update on Pickering's
I can.
and Union?
I can, as a matter of fact. So the, sometime Friday afternoon, they delivered the equipment. And we're calling for locates, and then we should have that installed by first of next week.
Wonderful.
Yep.
It'll really come in handy when the time changes, and we start getting dark and stuff like that
Yeah.
too, so.
Yeah, because we got time clocks with that equipment,
Yeah.
so. Anyway, that's imminent, it'll go in anytime. And I also want to give you an update on the 106 Union. I don't know if you got the email from Todd from the DOT, but
Not
he's.
the last one, if it got it the last couple of days, I called, trying to get hold of you, you already left on Friday. And she sent me the last one from a month ago.
This just came back, and they said that they should have those signs put up this week
Okay,
to
wonderful.
lower the speed limit and put up some advisory.
If you wouldn't mind,
speeds, so,
share
yeah.
that with me, because I'm
Yeah.
supposed to go and
If you wouldn't mind share with all 3 of us,
Yeah,
please.
I'll send it. I was just actually gonna do that, but anyway, it's supposed to be this week. And then this may be old news, but the advance road name signs at Victor Road, remember it took us like 2 years to get those? They're up.
Good,
We had to bird dog them like
Wow.
every other month, but they got them up, so.
good.
Can we go back to the operators really quick?
Yeah.
I'm showing that there are 8 budgeted, there's 1 vacant.
Yes. Okay, so it is budgeted?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's even better.
I thought it was, I thought we were choosing
I
not to,
operated
yeah.
under the thing like, nah, we ain't got no money for
No,
that.
so
We did.
that is what I'm asking, so please fill that position, well, but he still couldn't have without coming to us first. 'cause
Yeah, 100%.
We were asking that all new positions come to us, but, you have 3 of us that are saying, go out for that one too.
Okay, done, thank you. Really appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's even better.
See, now you can go back in Colorado and say, look what I did.
Yeah.
You need
Where
to
were
go on
you at,
vacation
man?
more often. No, I gotta tell her that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you
hey.
guys for everything.
Yeah, you bet, thank you.
Thank set you. a high bar for it.
That's right.
I think
Ooh,
you guys
she's
are just
gonna-
being kind to us all. Wait, leave it
Yeah.
up for Mike and
See you later.
Thank you, see you later.
Yep, Kelly.
Here.
My shirt. Ooh, sprinkler head replacements.
Never ends.
And that's in June.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions?
Do I need, I was waiting.
Damn,
I was waiting
you're
for
getting
Travis.
so good.
Right?
It's mental telepathy.
All I know is that anytime he's like,
Commissioner, no questions, I'm fine and can move forward. What the hell?
I like it. So what's going on is, by code, we have to pass code. They do a smoke detector test once a year. They do a water flow test every 5 years. If it has a sprinkler, and every 20 years, they inspect the inside the pipes and the sprinkler. At Juvie, we failed that test. It didn't meet the standards because the sprinkler heads are too old now to do that. So we need to, I mean, I don't have a choice. We have to go and put new heads in at the tune of $8,571. So we just wanted to brief you about that, just to show you what cost, what happens to Juvie. I mean, it's a lot of money goes in and out of Juvie.
it does.
That's all I had with that. And then another thing that Travis, you ain't even aware of. This came in this morning, and I just want to. I talked to Jen real fast, but you was in the meeting. Pacific Security sent me an email this morning that said we're reaching out to inform you of upcoming charges that will be in your future invoice beginning October 1st, 2025. According to new state tax regulation, businesses will be required to collect retail sales tax on the following, which is our security team, which is going to be about $3,000 a month, which is about $33,000 a year extra that is not budgeted.
Thanks, state. Gotta love them. Yeah. Well,
Just say
I don't
no.
say, I don't.
I'd like,
say that we have
I'll
a
tell them,
choice.
they said no, commissioners told me no.
Yeah.
Just say no.
Then we'll start sending them bills.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we gotta do something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first it's the Clean Air Act, and now it's this. I mean, when I'm into it, 75,000, 80,000, a little more than that,
Yeah.
because natural gas doubled on me now.
Well, and then how many buildings do we have that's over the 20,000?
3.
3. Well, just start.
Ultimately 3. Public Works, Building 10, and the courthouse. And then kind of the jail. But we've done that already, so.
Okay. Love it. Okay.
That's all I had.
Thank you, and I was aware.
Oh, did you get the same email? Oh, good.
Nice.
So yeah, we probably will need a budget amendment this year too for that, and opening, building 10 up and increasing our courthouse, or the
The security.
security, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
When does that go into effect? Sorry.
oh, it's okay.
Say that again?
When do we have to start paying that?
As effective immediately, or the court of security as soon as they started, which is for sure an extra person right now.
Oh, the sales tax
Yeah.
though?
Oh, the sales tax is October 1st,
Okay.
2025.
Okay.
All right, you're up.
So what I have for you is the WSPIC grant that the county was awarded. This is for the 2 co-responders. So we've briefed this before about the WSPIC grant, and the 2 co-responders were going to contract through ORS for those co-responders, and the county portion treatment sales tax has already been approved by you to pick up the county's portion, which is about 38,000 roughly. And so this is just a finalization of getting the grant signed, and then the subrecipient agreement that the county, so the agreements between the Mesa County Sheriff's Office and ORS for the subrecipient agreement, and then the health department is going to administer it. So we want to do an interdepartmental agreement between the sheriff's office and the health department. Since WSPIC they wouldn't contract directly with the health department, it had to be through the sheriff's office. So that's why we're doing it in this, what seems to be kind of a complicated manner.
Any questions?
No.
Great, and it's all been ran through Tim Whitehead. I'm waiting to hear back from Nicole, but we'll get it all in front of you hopefully next Tuesday, and get it all finalized. So, great. That was all I had. Thank you.
That's an adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a great program though, because the sheriff's office is greatly assisted by those folks now to add more hours. The last time I heard, Mason County had more usage for that program than Thurston County that had 24-hour coverage. And so, and that's in raw calls, not as a percentage of the population. So it's gonna be a real benefit for them to have those extra folks out there.
Oh, they do such a good job for us.
Yeah.
Those folks.
Yes, and you know, they're out there handling calls that law enforcement doesn't need to respond to, so that law enforcement can focus on the calls that they specialize in, and so it's a division of labor that's very beneficial to the county and the citizens. So it's a good program. Glad that went through. Okay, the next item is mine. It's the surplus of real property at 141 West Hemlock Road. We just need to do a notice of hearing. We're hoping for August 14th, and so that we can do the hearing for surplus property. No problem?
Good.
Okay, good.
Good.
Did I have something else?
3 goods.
Yeah, you have the
LMD.
Oh, yes, that's right. So the Island Lake, Lake Management District, Chris has been working on that since it was passed on to him. There was a vote of citizens of Island Lake to form a Lake Management District, and that passed. And attached is an ordinance certifying the LMD as being formed. And we just need to have the ordinance signed. And it goes on to I have my notes on that. It goes on to the public meeting next. Am I correct on that?
Yeah,
Yes.
so it goes
Here's
to
what
public hearing.
Yep. So.
A hearing for us, basically, to take in the public testimony.
Yes. Yep.
Do we have the actual results of the election?
I know, but Chris does. Do you have them?
Yeah, Chris and I both have them, so we can forward them to you.
It's overwhelming.
Yeah, you can
I
forward
was
it
gonna
to me.
say, which one are you gonna
So-
use? Because I'm all confused with how the different ones are interpreting it. One's interpreted through weight, others are interpreted by just how many came in, like 89% versus 6, but others are saying it has to be based on weight. So,
I think it's looked at as however many ballots were turned in, it's weighted off of that. So if only 50% of the people vote, I don't remember what the percentage was that voted, but if 50% of them, the Island Lake community vote, and 90% say yes, then it passes by 90%. I believe that's
okay, I see
how
what
it
you're saying.
works.
So it's both?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 50% is the weight, probably, and then the percentage, okay.
Yeah.
That does make sense,
Okay.
which it was like 89,
Mhm.
so.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Large percentage. Good.
I was just asked what was, I said, I'll find out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring up with you, we have MACECOM meeting tomorrow at 3, and a big topic of discussion will be where they've landed on these new rates that they want to charge the various departments, so that'll impact your budgets that are coming in from all over the place. So hopefully we'll have some more information tomorrow.
Okay.
I think no matter what, we're gonna have to look and find out what contracted out looks like. If it comes in super, super high, we have to at least look at that. Which will change how they do everything, because we're the majority of how, but we have to look at it if it comes in the numbers that we're looking at.
Yeah, it was quite significant increase.
Did you say like 400% or something, or?
I don't remember the percentage, but it
was
was
double.
a,
Yeah.
it was a significant gasp
It
in
was
the room.
huge.
when,
Both are on that, right?
See, yeah, fire and city was, yes, our county was hit hard. They will bankrupt some of them. I could.
Wow, I don't doubt that. Yeah.
Well,
Having troubles now.
I don't know much about it because it was before my time, but the county did used to do it. We had, at one point, 25 years ago before.
It's Firecom, and then there was Shellcom. I don't remember. We might have been a part of that. That's when it was down in the basement of the,
Yeah.
where the fire department is, just standing on pallets because the water flowed through there.
Oh, like crawfish.
Remember that?
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. Okay. The only other thing we had was a discussion with Mason Conservation District about their riparian plant project. They had come before you last year. They'd met with the previous administrator, and they were doing work out in Skokomish Valley and then some of the county parks. They were just hoping to expand that work in some of the county parks, but they wanted to come in and kind of give you an update of what was going on. Unfortunately, they had a conflict and couldn't make it in today, so they were hoping to push that off until next week so that they could just come back and just tell you exactly what they were doing and what they were hoping to expand into. And they came to my office and talked to me. It was a great program, it sounded like, but they'll be here next week to follow up on that.
That's easy.
Yeah, easiest one ever. And with that was my last one.
Okay.
I think I have one thing, just to clarify, do I need to go to action on that fire thing, or can I call them and get that started? Or do I need to wait a week on the?
Is it a contract or what do you?
No,
Just it's
it's,
for the repairs.
Yeah,
it was information why we brought it to you.
but if it's not a contract and it's within your budget.
It's a proposal.
Yeah.
Oh. I kind of feel like we should have it on the agenda,
Okay.
but I don't know that it's something that
If
we
in
need
doubt.
to.
It can wait. No, it can.
It can wait.
It can wait. It has to be done by the end of the year, but it can wait.
If in doubt, put it on.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do that
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and as long as it's on the CFP, or within,
Yes.
the repairs or
Yeah.
whatever, on the
Yeah.
CFP, then it should be fine budget-wise.
Cool. Anything else?
After that, thank you guys.
Thank you.
That's all I've got.
Nice. Commissioners, do we have anything that we need to discuss?
Just calendar for me.
I just got calendar too, kind of.
I don't even have a calendar up.
Well, I
Bring
found
my
Texas
computer.
on Wednesday, so there's my calendar.
Anything cool or?
Going to see Terry last night.
Oh, no. I was thinking rock band first, so I was thinking, who's turn? Oh, yeah.
Rock band.
Well, I traveled down there to watch a football game.
Really?
That was the coolest football game I ever went to. If you are a red-blooded American kind of guy like I am, they love this country. Dallas Cowboys Stadium, I loved this country even more after they were done with me. It was so impressive. I mean,
I don't know, that game Sunday was pretty exciting too.
but for calendar, I have a meeting with the Government Affairs that I didn't talk because I didn't have it at the time. Government Affairs North Mason Chamber on the 11th. The legislators will be there. It's by invitation only, I guess. It's a Government Affairs meeting.
You had fun with that.
Yeah. That's all I had different.
Yeah, I got Mace come tomorrow. I'm excited about seeing my kidney doctor this afternoon.
Oh.
Let's hope he.
But imagine when it's finally done, then it's over. Because, my wife goes through the same thing, so it's
Serious.
hell. Yeah, no, it's hell.
I wanna get it done.
Yeah. No, I have nothing to add, unless you wanna go get my oil changed on my car. It's exciting. And then we're back here on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, tomorrow will be interesting at MaceCon. That's,
I'm curious to find
Yeah.
out.
we'll see how it
The
goes.
thing is it's kind of uncharted territory, so we're gonna have to figure out what to do if it is so big.
Yeah,
And then, as he said, that's something that I hadn't thought about either. We may not have a choice anyway. If it is too much for some of the others, we may have to look at a
Those fire
contract somewhere
districts.
else.
Yeah, fire districts. they can't afford it.
And it's not personal or anything, I actually, the guy that took it over, he was wonderful. That number could be scary as hell.
All right, well, commissioners, if we are done,
And just so you're aware, Commissioners, Chris and his efficiency has already sent you the Lake Management District voting.
all
It's in
right,
your email.
perfect. All right, motion,
Move to adjourn, that's how I did.
Second.
or adjourned. Have a good one.